Ah, hell. I'm in the wrong game again.
Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drake Queen Gaming. It's something you know me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with the Let's Play episode of Conway. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and y'all can watch me thirst over this maned wolf again. Okay, but he's clearly an experienced member of the Conway's crew, someone Arthur could rely on despite the wicked easiness of the smile he's turned on you. If the sailing master needs your help, he'll ask you for it, especially when you're new and dead weight. I'd rather not be. You are admittedly slightly concerned about making the wrong impression, although Samuel seems fairly friendly. More than Arthur, at least. Something happening earlier? Ordinary somethings, yes. Nothing that adventurous. Faster tide than we expected, and less wind. It'll pick up when we're out of the lee of the harbor. That happens often? The wind not going down what's expected of her, all the time. But Hudson knows how to handle something like that. You'll figure it out, too. In time. But we shouldn't be ready for pirates then. No, her foes here are far more crafty and tenacious. It's all but impossible to fend off their siege. He stretches out one of those long legs of his, nudging it against the deck. Leggy boy. A constant battle where no mere cutlass or cannon can aid you. It will be, of course, your most important task. Scrubbing the deck? You learn quick. His grin is sardonic, although you imagine that, with his friends, it's not that rare. Realistically, yes, that's what you'll be spending your time doing. Welcome to sea. Though it's not just this deck. Sheets need to be tarred, masts flushed. It's almost funny how little a ship actually wants to be at sea. Now, one of you is a Julian, I'm told. Julian nods, straightening briefly to attention. Samuel points to you next. And you, what's your name? James. Well, I'll try to remember that, I guess. We'll find uses for new hands like you, of course. You look at the deck, then your eyes wander from the Conway's bowsprit back to her stern, where you can see Arthur in conversation with another of the officers. How much work would it even take to clean this whole thing on your knees? A lot. Oh, you'll be plenty busy, don't worry. It's as if he's guessed what you were thinking. If you're smart, you'll have some alcohol to trade before someone hands you the bucket. But maybe that's just me. And you do have the sense that, young as he is, Samuel counts as being an old salt. The scar on his cheek and some markings tattooed around his left wrist complete the picture. You'll learn that, too. You nod and look around the deck of the ship, already trying to estimate just how long it would take to clean this thing on your knees. I already know. The others turn to look at Julian when he speaks up. The lizard smiles. Who I can make work for me, I already know that. Ain't it so, Wolf? You better watch your tongue. Oh, that's right, the big bad wolf. He keeps that cheeky smile of his on full display. I'm just saying, that's all. We're fast friends, him and I. Julian really does have no idea when to stop with the wolf. Samuel doesn't seem especially convinced by this explanation either. It wouldn't surprise you if the two of them ended up brawling by the end of the journey. For the moment, the wolf keeps his cool. But not to the extent that he keeps himself from glaring daggers at Julian. You really are a nuisance, kid. The maned wolf clears his throat. His lanky body does not project the same authority as Arthur, but he does manage to sound like a voice of wisdom. You two can continue this courtship on your own time. We are not courting. Fine, you can have the drunken brawl you're angling for on your own time, too. I'd recommend you wait until after we get to the harbor. That long? In a harbor bar, you might not be identified. Maybe you'll be really lucky and we'll sail before anybody wants damages covered. His smile is hardened. Wonder where you got that scar after all. But keep it off the ship all the same, unless you just like being whipped, in which case, don't let me stop you from getting in the way of your good time. I'm just trying to have a bit of fun is all. We're gonna be friends. It's a small ship. Long way for you to swim back to shore, you mean? The snarl in his voice was not particularly subtle, but it mostly vanishes when he turns towards Samuel. He's not worth it. Don't worry, I know that. Don't worry. Good. Apparently Arthur expects me to make sailors out of you. I'd really prefer to not to look like I can't keep you from each other's throats for a full watch. He nods, his long muzzle towards you. What about you? You have any smoldering passions you need to keep cool? No, sir. The maned wolf snorts. Don't call me that. I will throw you overboard for grievous insults. Now, if you three need to be kept busy, I can certainly find ways to occupy your idle... He trails off as a noise coming from the stern catches his attention. You follow his gaze to see someone leaning over the wooden railing. He's clutching at a rope tightly to keep from going over. He recovers, though straightening up to emerge from behind the railing. You have a brief glimpse of large, rounded ears before he disappears again. It's a yeen! It's a yeen! Samuel laughs once more, this time in a knowing chuckle. Well, looks like someone's having an even worse time to start our trip than you, Wolf. Oh? He follows the direction of Samuel's gaze, and you all watch the hapless man throw his body forward. Ooh, I love the tail animation. His fingers holding the rope in a death grip. This time there's the unmistakable sound of retching. Oh, well, I don't know about that. I might take it that you meant we could lose some more unnecessary weight. Julian clasps a hand against his breast in feigned shock. You wound me, Wolf. We've been getting on so well. If you don't shut it, I promise I'll do it for you. It's still not entirely clear to you how much of Wolf's attitude is theatric. What you do know is that he and Julian seem quite comfortable on the Conway, at least from a physical point of view. Neither of them have Samuel's relaxed stance, but Wolf hasn't even put out a hand to steady himself as the ship begins to rock through the more substantial waves of open ocean. Should we try to help him? He's got big teeth, don't worry. No, him. You point to the unfortunate soul who is now leaning heavily against the railing for support. Having feared you might be susceptible yourself, it's hard not to feel a little sorry for him. Is there anything we can, I don't know, can we help? Not really, can't do much. Sometimes you just get caught by it. The ocean's not for everyone, that's for sure. He shrugs and turns away. Don't think it's anyone I know. Must be a passenger of some kind. It'll pass, though. He'll have more room for dinner. Think of it that way. Samuel, you realize, must have seen more than his share of seasickness. Eager young men like you, no doubt, discovering too late that they're part of the maned wolf's not for everyone. I suppose. What's it to you, anyway? You want to go be helpful again? I'm feeling sorry for him, that's all. Well, nobody's stopping you from keeping him company. We're supposed to be working for you, aren't we? I was told chain of command was very important. Don't worry, I can release you to go administer rites or whatever it is you think you would. The rest of us are about to have other things to do anyway. Dinner? He points towards the horizon. The sun's getting fairly low. Indeed. So, we should all get ready for it. Consider yourselves dismissed. The wolf turns quietly away the moment he hears that you've been released, leaving the three of you behind. You're still not certain what to make of him. Why go through all the trouble of working at sea if you're just going to be miserable? At least the seasick passenger must have a destination in mind. Julian, watching Wolf step down the ladder into the bowels of the ship, seems to be thinking the same thing. Someone's hungry. Or someone hates your guts, though I can't imagine why. Why is because he needs to lighten up a bit. Maybe. The maned wolf flexes his long fingers, then balls them into a fist and socks Julian on the shoulder before he can dodge it. Ow! Stop that! What was that for? Curiosity? Oh, that did feel good. Julian rubs at the sore spot on his shoulder, glaring at Samuel. Some of that seems to be genuine. The maned wolf must have hit harder than you thought. You're saying I'm wrong? He doesn't need to lighten up? I'm saying I've known you for long enough to think you could definitely be a bit annoying. You've known me for 15 minutes! Like I said. Oh, not you too. Hey. With that prompting, Julian looks to you for approval. Uh-oh. Oh god, please don't make me side against fucking maned wolf boy. Ah, early decision, okay. I really want some Samuel. I really want some Samuel this time. Strange as Wolf is, he must have his reasons for the caginess. Even if he doesn't, you can hardly blame him for not wanting to deal with Julian. The lizard acts like you're off on some boarding school camping trip, not a proper sailing vessel. At least what you imagine a camping trip would be like. Something a lot less serious than working aboard the Conway. It's like, y'all. You do come on a bit strong. Strong, huh? He's being diplomatic. Diplomatic? As in, it's a diplomatic way of saying annoying little shit in the local dialect. Julian looks at you as if expecting further explanation, but if he doesn't understand why his antics would rub anyone the wrong way, you doubt you can explain it to him. Finally, he gives up, shoulders slumping in defeat. Fine, fine. He sighs and shakes his head. But he does need to stop being such a grump. Be that as it may, good behavior goes both ways. We're going to be stuck here for a while. You don't have to like each other, but you do have to tolerate each other. I'm trying. Don't make me punch you again. Julian huffs dramatically. Everybody's got their own past, their own little quirks and things they don't want to talk about. Things that can't just be left ashore, much as we'd all prefer it. And you don't want to start off by antagonizing everyone. I'm not trying to antagonize people. Something about the way he responds gives you the impression it's probably a speech the young man has heard once or twice before. Well, in that case, at least try to make your ribbing funny. At least just some advice. Oh, of course, there's so many people here I can take pointers from on that one. He shakes his head, but keeps a reasonably brave face. Alright, I won't antagonize him, or you, and you won't punch me again, right? Good lad, stay on Wolf's good side. Right? Let's go down and wait for dinner. You're hungry, right? Julian looks at Samuel suspiciously for a few more seconds before giving up. Yes, practically starving now that you mention it. He looks in the direction of the ship's bell, like he could will it to ring sooner. And you haven't even done any work yet. He gives Julian another punch, although this one is much lighter, and to the other shoulder. Oh, I'm kidding. You should be excited. Just for once, well, we're close to port. I'll run out of fresh ingredients quickly, but for now... Oh, I know. Enjoy it while you can. He keeps staring at the bell, though. I plan on it. Who knows when the next good meal will come. Exactly. Bandil's one splendid cook, at least. That man could make salt pork a royal feast if he had to, and he'll come close even for us when it comes to that. Can't wait. I'm sure he'll be eating a hardtack soon enough. Hell, Bandil could almost make that edible, too. He pauses and then shrugs. Almost. Do you know what he's planning? I saw someone from the ship bustling about the shops near the docks. Probably Bandil. Probably Bandil, then, yes. I heard rumors that it would be salmon. Something of a specialty for him. Oh, that sounds good. I'll never turn down fresh fish. It sounds good to you, too. Even growing up in the harbor town, the best fish was too expensive for a family like yours. From Samuel's hungry expression, Bandil has to be preparing something more exciting than some overboiled stew that barely does more than smell of fish. It does sound good. I can't wait to see what our cook can manage. You figured it would be a while before that smell would be appetizing again. In any event, as far as appetite is concerned, you're still thinking about the seasick man. But I want to check on that passenger, make sure he's not suffering too badly. Sure, suit yourself. Careful by the railings, though. I don't fancy a swim. His physique doesn't exactly lend itself to the ocean, you suppose, which must be why he ends that in a wry grin. I will be. I'll be down in a moment. Leave some for me, will you? No promises. It'll be your fault for being late anyhow. Yep, this is Samuel's run. Sorry, lizard boy. Despite the ribbing, you're pretty sure Julian and Samuel will ensure you don't go hungry. You watch them make their way across the deck, following wolf footsteps and disappearing down to the ship's hull. You ascend the ladder, as Arthur called it, although it's more of a narrow staircase, nearly as steep as a ladder, and you can't imagine trying to manage it on a rocking deck. The sound of your claws clacking, whatever sea legs are, you don't have them yet, announces your presence to the passenger. He turns to face you, and on closer inspection you can see that he's an African wild dog. Oh, he's an African wild dog, okay. I thought it was a hyena. You've not met many of these before, but the look of his fur is unmistakable. So too are his round ears. And a black muzzle that stands out against his pale fur, with teeth that would be more imposing were they not tightly clenched. Huh? Oh, company. Perhaps? He seems to be over the worst of it, although he flinches with the more severe waves. Still, his voice sounds more sure of itself as you near the final step of the ladder. Actually, I'm going to pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all if I do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silver, and thank going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to our 2 gold tier patrons, Zeke and Toby. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our Not Safe for Work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!